Hello everyone, it feels so good to see you all again. If today is your first time, you are so welcome. Kindly take a seat by subscribing to this channel and be part of this lovely family. There has been 2 new reforms that impact the international student program in Canada, and that is what we are going to be looking at in this video. The first one is the number of hours international students can work off campus. Early this year, the Honorable Minister for Immigration brought new limitations to the number of hours international students can work. So from May, international students could work for 20 hours in a week off campus. However, when making that reform, he also proposed that from September, the hours will be adjusted to 24 hours. That was a proposal, and we have all been waiting for it to be confirmed. So from September, international students have been in a dilemma as to how many hours they are actually supposed to work off campus. Just Friday, on the 15th of November, that has been settled. It has now been confirmed that international students can henceforth work 24 hours in a week off campus. The second regulation is that international students who come into Canada but for some reasons decide to change their schools would have to apply for a new study permit. Let's go straight to the Government of Canada's website and get the details of these 2 major new reforms. It reads, new international students program regulations take effect. Today, the Honorable Mark Miller, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, confirmed that new regulations impacting the international students program have now taken effect, including the change the number of hours international students may work off campus that was proposed earlier this year. With this change, eligible students can now work up to 24 hours per week off campus while their classes are in session. So more on that, it also says that by fixing the off-campus work limit to 24 hours per week, we are striking the right balance between providing work opportunities and helping students stay focused on their education. We also expect institutions to support our efforts to preserve the integrity of the international student program. International students should have a positive, successful experience in Canada, and the important changes made today will help with that. That was by the Honorable Mark Miller. The other aspect is also that international students who are eligible to work off campus may work full-time during breaks in the academic calendar, such as summer break between school years or the winter break between semesters. So when school is on break, it means that international students do not have a limit to the number of hours they can work. So we can all see that the limit to the number of hours international students can work is so that they are able to focus on their education, because that is the major reason why they are here. So the number 1 priority for international students should be their education. However, when school is on break, they can work unlimited hours. PhD students or candidates should know that they are never on a break, so they never have to work unlimited hours off campus whilst they are still in their program. Let's go to the second reform. The second reform says that moving forward, international students must apply and be approved for a new study permit before changing learning institutions. This change is in line with the important work we have been doing to strengthen the integrity of international student program. So with this, there has been many instances where people come to Canada for school, and when they get here, say they come in with a visa for a 4-year degree program, and when they get here, instead of going straight to school, they decide to say work for the first 2 years and later get like a 1-year program and do. Now this reform is trying to say that you cannot just get admission to a new school and go. You would have to apply for a new study permit. With this reform, there are so many people who are already in a very tight corner because they have been in Canada. They were supposed to be in school, but they are not in school at the moment. They have been working. And probably they intend to go to school later. All these people would have to apply for a new study permit. In line with this, it also says that twice a year, designated learning institutions are expected to submit a report to IRCC that indicates whether each study permit holder associated with their school has remained enrolled. Students who are no longer enrolled can be investigated and face enforcement action as they may be breaking the study permit conditions. So twice every year, designated learning institutions or DLIs are expected to submit current enrolled students to the IRCC. The IRCC is going to use that to fish out students, people who are supposed to be international students, people who came in with study permits but are not enrolled because they did not go to school. Over time, all these people will be fished out, investigated, and they will face enforcement action. Don't listen to people who tell you, oh, work for a while before you go to school later and all that. If you do that, especially if you do not even defer the school, if you defer, it means you are going back to the same school, right? If you defer, you are going back to the same school. But if you do not defer and you think that, oh, you applied, you came in with a 4-year program, so you are going to work for say 2 years or 3 years, and you use the last year to look for a 1-year college program and do, you will find yourself in very big trouble with this new reform. And also with the 24 hours of work that international students are supposed to do, you should know that once you're an international student, the major focus, your priority is school and not work. Let me tell you this. At the time that international students were even allowed to work unlimited hours, one guy was refused a postgraduate work permit because of the number of hours he worked. Yes, as of then, they could work unlimited hours, but he was still refused postgraduate work permit because if you check the number of hours this guy worked, you could see that he did not come to Canada for school. They later investigated his course timetable to find out that he was actually almost always absent from lectures. And at those particular times, he was working. Because he was an Uber driver, it was very easy to check his work schedule and all of that. So guys, let us not try to take advantage of these things. Once you come as an international student, your priority is a student. Any other thing should be secondary. Okay, thank you so much for staying with me till this time, and see you in my next video. Kindly subscribe if you have not done that yet. Stay blessed. Bye.